Hello, lovely to see you here. Today we are doing the second video for our three-part series where we are going to every Alfred's in LA. The first video was hitting the mid-city locations, so we hit up Koreatown, Melrose, Glossier Alley, Robertson, and Beverly Hills. And in today's video, we are going to the West Side. So the West Side will include Marina del Rey, Abbott Kinney, Sawtelle, Westwood, Brentwood, Palisades, and Malibu. I know there's one at LAX, but I'm not going to anywhere, so I did not do the LAX one. Maybe I'll, one of these days when I do take a trip, I will put that one in its own video. Also, I found out some bad news. So you know how I'm waiting to do the Valley as the last one because Encino's supposed to be open? I found out that they're opening up a new one in the mid-city area on Beverly. So eventually that video will be obsolete. So I'm trying not to be gutted about it. But
you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
It kind of bugs me a little bit. So just to recap a little from the first video, this is not going to be a video about the drinks. This is going to be strictly about each location. So we're going to talk about the overall vibe, the parking situation, as well as seating. Alfred Coffee started in early 2013. The founder's name is Josh Sad. You should definitely follow him on Instagram if you do not, because he always teases things that are opening up. I'm very, very much in the comments section trying to figure out where the next location is going to be. But currently there are 18 locations, more coming, because I think from just being in the comment section, I think Encino's coming, the Beverly one's coming. I think someone said that there's one in downtown that's coming, so don't quote me on it, but I just saw someone mention that they saw signage go up in a downtown location. So without further ado, let's just get into it because we have a lot of locations to cover. We'll start off with the most southern at Marina del Rey. I really loved going to the West Side locations because I think a lot of them are themed to where they're at, and Marina del Rey is definitely themed for being in the marina. It has a very cute nautical theme. They have cute little sailor tchotchkes on these shelves. It's very I love the whole decor of it. As far as parking, there is a parking lot. There is 2-hour free validation. It probably does get busy during the summer month and then on the weekends because it's by the marina. It's very beautiful. Yes, they have seating right in front, but you can they have these concrete benches kind of built into the shopping center, and you can just kind of sit and watch the boats. I used to come here back before Alfred's and all this was developed, and they had a cute little paddleboarding place that you can go. And so yeah, I saw a couple people paddleboarding while I was enjoying my coffee. I think this place will be a nice place to kind of do a little work from home, or just get a break from working from home and bring your laptop. They do have tables outside that are metal tables with an umbrella. There's maybe one wall bench inside, but the weather is so nice because it's literally in the marina. So there's a nice breeze. If there's no breeze during the summer, it does get pretty humid because I used to live there, so I know this. But I do love the overall vibe of this place, and I wish I still lived in Marina del Rey because this would definitely be my go-to Alfred's. Next, we went to Abbott Kinney. So Abbott Kinney is another place that gets very busy as far as parking on the weekends, or not even on the weekends. I went on a Tuesday around noon, and Abbott Kinney itself does have parking, but it's very scarce. There's a parking lot that runs parallel to Abbott Kinney on the east, so there's a lot of metered spots. I didn't realize till the very end that Alfred's has their own parking lot, almost right before you hit Venice. There's a parking lot to the right where you can go in, and they do offer free validation. So that is something to think about when you're going to this location. This location was super cute, kind of small. And I feel that's the theme of a lot of the West Side location, is that they are kind of on the smaller side. And I think it just is because maybe how much the rent is or space available. The West Side is just so expensive. I used to live there, so I know the rent is so expensive in the West Side. So I think a lot of the locations are just very small, minimal tables, although this one does have that COVID patio where they took parking spots and then put like seating. So there's some right out front of Alfred's. Inside there is like kind of like this geometric shaped bench. Is it bench? Like steps, but it's like places where you can sit. The theme, I couldn't figure it out. Like I wanted to say it was kind of 80s just because of like the color and the bench. But yeah, I couldn't figure out the theme for this one. Maybe you guys know and you guys can let me in the comments because I did try to research it and yeah, I couldn't figure it out. I think this one you can do a good amount of like just sitting and working from home. The tables and chairs aren't the most comfortable, but I think it's great people watching. It's right on Abbott Kinney, like in the beginning of Abbott Kinney. And, you know, because it's on the west side, it's not so hot. I miss being on the west side, honestly, because this valley heat is so rough. I think of all the locations on the west side, this was the least busy. I only saw like one person working outside. Hello. And like one or two people came in while I was having my beverage. So, you know, I think if you're looking for a place that's not too busy, this one would be the one as far as the west side goes. Next is Sawtelle. So before I start, I have such like a love for Sawtelle because this is where I used to live when I first moved to LA. I think I lived there for like 5 years. 5 years. Yeah, I lived in that apartment for 5 years. So this location is also small. It's more just kind of like a grab and go, although they do have a couple of seatings. Like they have this like communal table that comes out of the wall. They have these cute little bench with little tables. And then they also have these really, really cute like metal two-top tables with like an umbrella. I love the seating here. And maybe it's just because I love being in the Sawtelle area. Like it just gives me like so much nostalgia. Like I don't really care that there's no inside seating. I'm happy to like sit out here and just hang out and like bask in the Sawtelle. As far as parking, so there are parking on the street on like Olympic and Corinth and all around. There are some metered spots. There is parking specifically at the block, which is where the Alfred's is located in. It is a little pricey. It's a $15 max, but it's like $5 for the first 30 minutes. And then I think it's like another $5 for each 10 or something like that. There is validation. So you get a free 30 minutes if you do validate. Next, we go to Westwood. I think this location is so cute. It kind of like kept the original shape of the buildings. I think it used to be a Ralph's, if I'm remembering correctly. So the outside facade is like very like historical. They've kept the shape. And then inside, I think this is like the one that has the best seating as far as the west side goes, because it's just huge. Like it has like communal tables, little like booths if you want to like be a little bit more secluded, and then like a little side table that's facing outside. Parking here, oh my gosh, I hate Westwood parking. Like I've gotten so many parking tickets from being here. There is parking spots all around. Like you can find parking on the street. Just be very like cautious about when you can park, and like a lot of them are like 15 minutes. So if you're trying to like come here to work and do stuff, like this is not, you got to find somewhere else. There are parking lots all over. They're kind of hidden. But I've had such bad luck with the parking lots in Westwood. Like there's a few times where I've like gone and their machine isn't working and they're like, well, can you like back up and go get cash? And it's like, no, like there's already a line. What am I going to do? Just like abandon my car? So yeah, the parking situation in Westwood is kind of a mess to me, but this location is very, very cute. It's very busy because, it is in the UCLA school, vicinity, and a lot of like businesses. So when I got there, I was a little shy at filming because it was like very full. There was like students and businessmen all using the table. So I tried to like show you guys what was the seating situation, but maybe I just I got a little nervous because I still really don't like filming in public. Next, we are going to Brentwood. Oh my gosh. These two, I just don't like the parking situation. So Brentwood does have its own parking lot, but it is so tiny. If you like back out to try to get out, the person, no one can like get in. Like it is not a two-way parking lot. It's literally like enough for one car. So I did find parking in there. There are parking meters along San Vicente, but this area of San Vicente is so busy. You know what? Before I like when I used to live in Sawtelle and before they had the Sawtelle location, I used to just like Postmates my Alfreds from this location because I just like got so much anxiety from the traffic and parking of this Alfred's that I'm like, you know what? I will pay the $10 Uber Eats fee to get my Alfred's. This is like probably my least favorite one to go to. As far as seating, they do have, again, that like COVID patio where they took over a parking space. So they have like a cute little seating area there. They also have like benches that are next to the building. And as far as like the inside go, it's so small. I think the layout is not that well thought out because where the register is like directly right in front of the door. So like the line just goes out the door. People have to like go to the right to wait for their coffee, and then they have to like squeeze by the people that are waiting to order their coffee. So I actually didn't get any coffee here because the line was already so long. I think this location does a lot in like Uber, DoorDash because I saw so many bags just waiting for someone to pick them up. As far as the vibe goes, I always felt like this was like the Rebel version because like I think the Melrose opened up and I don't know how long it was until this location opened up, but it kind of, and I could totally be wrong, but I feel like it has like kind of this like punk because it's like this green, the fluorescent, but first coffee. I also remember that this location used to do the espresso and the waffle cone, which I don't think they do that anymore. As far as like decor, I think this one is my least favorite of the Westside location. Still very Alfred's. Like every Alfred's has their own vibe. I think that's what a lot of people like about Alfred's because like you can go to a different Alfred's and just be transported to like a whole different coffee shop. It's not the same at each one other than the drinks. And now for the Palisades. So this was the first time I've been to this one. This place was so cute. Like it reminds me of being transported somewhere like East Coast, like maybe the Hamptons, Martha's Vineyard, which I've never been to Martha's Vineyard, but like this is like, that's what I think of, you know, it's very like old colonial red brick building. There's like a cute little grassy area where you can sit on these cute little patio chairs. The location again is very small. There are some tables outside that you can sit at, and then the shopping center itself has their own seating with like wicker chairs, which I think are a little bit more comfortable than the one that Alfred's offers. And then as far as parking goes, so you can try your luck at finding metered parking on Swarthmore, but there is a parking garage if you just kind of like go Swarthmore and then take an immediate right and then go down. The parking is a little expensive. I was there for like less than 15 minutes and it was $5. But the luxury of like not having to look for parking like the Brentwood and Westwood situation, I think it's worth the $5. And then, you know, it's shaded. So like you just park there and then you go up this escalator and then it's, you know, Alfred's is immediately to the right. Yeah, I really love this location. I'll probably go back if, you know, because they do have like some good shopping. There's an Erewhon, which I have no business shopping at right now. And then the final location is Malibu. I used to work in Malibu for like almost 6 years, and of course, like when I stopped working in Malibu is when they put an Alfred's in Malibu. So the parking in Malibu, I went on a weekday, so it wasn't that bad. But I will warn you, during the summer months and on the weekends, this location, the parking is probably like a headache. I was able to find parking immediately on Civic Center Way, and then I just walk through the shopping center past like the park to go to Alfred's. There is parking right in front of Alfred's. I don't know what it is about those parking spots. They are so skinny, and like I have like an SUV, and then I also have to take out my son because Enzo has gone to every single Alfred's with me. So I just was like, you know what? I'm going to find whatever like the easiest parking is and then just walk over instead of doing like the ones that are right in front. As far as seating go, there is no seating inside, but there is seating outside. And like you're at like literally so close to the beach that it never really gets hot there. It might get humid some days, but there is always like a nice breeze. So there are these cute little like tables, like metal tables and chairs with an umbrella right in front. You're also like in the Cross Creek Shopping Center. So there's like a park that I let Enzo like play while I was enjoying my coffee and my croissant. So there's like benches, little chairs. Like this location is a really nice location if you just want to like get a coffee and then just like chill. Because where the shopping center is, it's just a great hangout spot. It's great for like kids because they have that park. They have like a little sand pit. So this is like, if you're like a mom and you're like, I just want a moment of peace while I have my coffee, this is a place for you. And then as far as the vibe goes, what's so funny is like when this location first opened, I thought that they would go for like the more beachy look. And even like the merch when they first opened, they had these like cute trucker hats that had a surfboard that said Alfred's on it, which I wish I could have gotten one, but I just did not get it. But the vibe of this place is like very, is it modern? Would you call it modern? I've tried to research to figure out like all these locations and their vibe or like what their theme is, but this one I couldn't figure out. But yeah, so it definitely wasn't like what I expected, but I think it's so pretty. Like it's just very minimal. The kind of like rosy tile. I love this like little window where you fix your coffee because then you can just like kind of see out, but it has like the big A for Alfred's. And I love Malibu. Like I have such a and maybe I do for like all this Westside location because like this is where I lived before I moved to the Valley to become a mom. So like this is like the Westside is like my single girl life. But yeah, that is it for all the Westside locations. I'd love to know which one you guys thought was the cutest. Definitely like Marina del Rey is like my favorite, but I have like a special place in my heart for Sawtelle because that was my old neighborhood, and then Malibu because that's where I worked for 5 years. Next, we will be tackling the Valley. I don't know when Encino's opening, so like maybe Encino won't open. Maybe I'll just do like a whole video where it's like all the ones that are opening now. So like the Encino location, the Beverly location, and maybe the downtown location if I am reading the comment section correctly in the Alfred's post. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification button because I don't know when I'm going to do the Valley one. I'm working on it, but Hero is also out of school right now, so usually I like just take Enzo with me to go to all these locations, but right now I'm gonna have to take Enzo and Hero, so that's a little bit more complicated. I don't know if my anxiety will let me go to all the remaining locations with both of my children. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really enjoy making this series. It's so funny, like I put in like the description, like it's a series that no one asked for, but it's the one that I can't get out of my head because I just have always had this like love for Alfred. So I hope you guys have a great day and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.